Hi everybody, I'm Bruce Vonderhaar. Welcome to Take 10. This is a program in partnership with Joplin Schools, Jet 14, and the Joplin Globe. This week, like last week, we're going to be joined by Missouri Southern's Kevin Greim. This is going to be part 2 of our segment with Kevin. Kevin is the assistant AD and the head golf coach and the radio voice of the Missouri Southern Lions. Kevin, I want to talk about Sallie Beard. In the last week or so, Missouri Southern announced that Sallie has announced her retirement after 7 years as the AD. Many years before that, she was the women's athletic director, and even before that, a coach, and a long time at Missouri Southern. So your initial reaction, I guess, to Sallie announcing her retirement?
Well, what a time of transition it's going to be for Missouri Southern as we move into the future here. The other thing that jumps to mind is just the service that she has given to Missouri Southern over the years. And you mentioned not just as the AD, but, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Sallie, for all intents and purposes, started the women's athletics department at Missouri Southern. You mentioned that she was a coach. She's grown the department over the 30 years of her service at Missouri Southern. So, it's rare, I think, that you find somebody who has given their entire career life to one place. And Sallie Beard has given her entire professional career to Missouri Southern. So I just think that the university and the community in general has a debt of gratitude that is owed to Sallie Beard for the tremendous growth that she's provided to Missouri Southern and Missouri Southern athletics. And so I think you got to tip your cap.
For the last several years that you've been here, and then just recently in the last couple of years, as the assistant AD, you work closely with her, obviously, on a day-to-day basis with her. Were you surprised that it came at this point? Did you think it would come in a couple of years from now? Did you not know? Did this kind of catch you off guard, or were you not surprised?
Well, I think we were all a little bit surprised. I mean, anytime someone is coming towards the end of their career and is eligible for retirement, you always wonder when it's going to happen. I think everybody was a little bit surprised that it was going to be this year, I guess, because really there was no indication of that before that time. But I just feel like she's moving on to another phase in her life. She's got some other things she wants to accomplish.
She's been such a big part of the Lions. And, Jim Frazier, who was the AD before her, did the same thing, retired. But we see Coach Frazier around everywhere, basketball games, football games. He's still part of it. And I'm sure Sallie's not going to be able to get away from it either. She's still going to be visible and seen. It's not like she's going to disappear or anything like that. She'll still be around, I would assume.
Well, she's green and gold, you know. I mean,
exactly.
She loves Missouri Southern athletics. And, she loves the student athletes and what participating in Division II athletics can do for a young person. It provides them with the chance to get a good education, but at the same time have a balance with highly competitive athletics. Anybody who's come out to watch a Missouri Southern game or an MIAA game or a Division II game in general knows that the level of play in whatever sport you're talking about is extremely high. So these young people are getting a chance to learn through intensely competitive athletics. They're getting a chance to learn in the classroom, and I think the thing that we're probably proudest most of at the Division II level is there's a balance between those two things. It's not all academics, it's not all athletics, it's a balance of the two of them. And Sallie has really enjoyed being around young people who grow through that experience. And but you're right, she's not going to disappear. She'll be out of ball games.
The thing that you concentrate on when you look at your title is external operations. That's community stuff and things like that. And that's so important to any athletic department, whether you're talking about high school, but maybe even more so in college, just getting out there and shaking hands, meeting people, and being at games, being visible. That's a very big part of what an AD does, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And at Division II, I think we've got a unique opportunity to engage our communities a little bit more maybe than even Division I schools do. Division I schools are there to, as far as an athletics department, they need to make some money. Sure. And certainly Division II schools don't want to hemorrhage money, but at the same time, I think they're more accessible. You get closer to the court, you get closer to the field, you can kind of get to know the athletes a little bit more, whereas maybe Division I athletics a little bit more of a business. We've got a chance to engage the community maybe even a little bit more than Division I's do. So I think it's very important to get out there and spread the word about your respective athletics department and get people to feel like this Missouri Southern is the hometown institution, and it is something to get behind it's a great form of entertainment to bring your kids out
Sure
to,
is.
or whoever, so yeah, it's very important to publicize it.
Switching gears here just a little bit, you're on the administration side a little bit, and the conference seems to be growing and growing. Nebraska-Omaha is now part of it. Lincoln's coming in here soon. Where do you see the MIAA, the conference, going? Because Lincoln's coming in, and here's another school now going to play football and all the other sports. So this conference just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's a tremendous time of transition. You know, Southwest Baptist went out in football. They stayed in the other sports. We just brought UNO in, as you mentioned, Nebraska-Omaha. Lincoln is coming in. So now there's just a lot of decisions that have to be made. Is the conference going to get bigger from this point? Is there going to be another team that comes in?
Yeah.
How do you do the scheduling now? Are we going to divide the league at some point into a North and South or an East and West division, play everybody in your division twice and the other division once? I mean, it creates a whole lot of question marks for how you're going to do scheduling in a lot of different sports. But I will say this. No matter what happens, this conference is as strong as there is in the Division II ranks in America. I don't care what other conference you put it up against, Lone Star Conference, Gulf South Conference, whatever. The MIAA, the level of play in their various sports is outstanding, and I think it's gotten stronger with the addition of UNO. It's going to get stronger in some respects with the addition of Lincoln. So it's a big state of transition, as we talked about a little bit, but it's an exciting time.
People who go watch Southern athletics or whoever, Division II athletics in general, know what you're talking about. They would agree with you. People who are casual fans or go out there every once in a while, I think, are surprised the first time they see a basketball game or the first time they can watch a Southern football game and just see the athleticism that's displayed. The speed of the game probably isn't what they thought it would be. I think that catches people off guard a lot that maybe don't watch it a whole lot.
I think it does too, because I know as a person growing up that was not around a Division II school necessarily, and I went to Southwest Missouri State in Springfield, now Missouri State, didn't know much about this level of play. But then when you get there and you see it, you're like, man, you know, these guys are, well, I'll give you Vincent Atiba for the Lions basketball team. That kid has 2 inches on him, and he's playing at Missouri State, or he's playing somewhere else in the Missouri Valley. These guys may be just slightly undersized, or maybe you don't have the numbers of players that you do at the Division I level, but there are Division I caliber athletes that are out there. So, yeah, anybody who hasn't seen it in person doesn't really know, I think, how good it is. Go out to Joe Becker and watch those guys play baseball. Absolutely. Go out to Fred Hughes Stadium and see the speed and the ferocity with which those kids play football. Go to basketball and see how intense it is. You can name any of our sports. You go out there and watch it and you're like, man, that's a very, very good level of play.
A few months ago you had Rod Smith, who of course is Southern alum and had a great career with the Broncos, just retired, was inducted to Division II Football Hall of Fame. And Rod has a golf tournament with you guys every year. Just talk about what he's meant, just him going into the Division II Hall of Fame in general, what it means to Southern. And then I know he comes back and does a golf tournament for you guys, and I know both of us participate in that. It's a lot of fun. So those couple things that Rod has been through the last couple months.
Well, you can't get better publicity than having your name as an institution associated with a guy like Rod Smith. Not only an athlete like Rod Smith, but a guy like Rod Smith. He is a tremendous guy.
And he comes to basketball games still today.
He sure
was
does.
at a couple this year.
He's proud to have gone to Missouri Southern.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. I mean, you know, when they do the Monday Night Football intros, I'm a Missouri Southern Lion.
Yeah.
What better way to get publicity than to have your institution's name attached to a guy like Rod Smith, who has accomplished what he has accomplished? He is going to go in the NFL Hall of Fame.
I would think so, yeah.
And what a feather in the cap of this institution to say that young man graduated from this school, and then what an ambassador he is for Missouri Southern, because like you said, he comes back for the golf class, he shakes hands, he's out there playing, he's joking around with the people who are playing in the tournament, comes back for basketball games and football games, like you said. So he's a tremendous asset to the institution.
All right, well, some exciting times out at Southern. Sallie Beard will be missed, no question about that. But as you mentioned, a time in transition, and look forward to see what happens out there. Appreciate you coming into Joplin High School today and visiting with us for a while.
Thank you, Bruce.
Okay, that's Kevin Greim, the assistant AD out of Missouri Southern. Appreciate you watching Take 10 this week. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, everybody.